Ready for an adventure? Today we're going deep into cities that changed the world.
Sounds exciting.
You know how these bustling centers kind of kick-started progress, shaped culture, technology?
Even like our whole way of life.
Exactly. And we've got a ton of sources to help us uncover it all.
Historical accounts.
Archaeological findings.
Even some modern analysis of urban planning.
So let's kick things off with one of the oldest cities.
Oh, you mean Jericho?
Yeah. What blew
Right.
my mind was that massive wall they built.
Oh, yeah, to protect against floods.
Like, that's serious urban planning,
Even way back then. Shows how they tackled environmental challenges.
just like we do today. And just like today.
Location was key.
Jericho was right by the wealthy Mitanni Empire.
Huge economic advantage, I bet.
But even well-planned cities,
Yeah, they can hit a snag.
our sources say Jericho declined around 1573 BCE.
Probably earthquakes.
Makes you realize that cities...
Vulnerable to forces beyond their control.
Totally. But then you have Babylon,
Ah, yes, another walled city.
famous for its hanging gardens.
You know, it was so famous that...
Hey, really?
Yeah, early European tourists.
No way.
Yeah, they often mistook another city for it.
Whoa, which one?
Valuia.
Wow, talk about a mix-up.
But it shows you the power of Babylon's image.
Even centuries later.
Cities become symbols, you see,
Not just spaces, but like ideas.
and aspirations.
So we've got these walled cities, right? Early urban planning.
But don't forget about strategic location.
Ah, right. Like
A major Mesopotamian city.
right on the Tigris and Euphrates rivers.
Vital trading hub. Connecting different regions.
And there's a theory that
Could be Abraham's birthplace.
whoa, imagine that history.
Cities become focal points for cultural and religious movements.
Absolutely. Then there's Eridu,
Also in Mesopotamia.
considered a sacred site.
And its mythology.
Yeah, it influenced later religions.
It's amazing.
Oh, and they had this flood myth.
Oh, like Noah's Ark.
Yeah. Maybe shared cultural memory.
Could be. It offers a glimpse into early societies.
So they tackled flooding, found strategic spots, became cultural centers.
But what happens when they grow powerful?
Good question.
That's where trading empires pop up.
Like Carthage,
A dominant force.
renowned for its wealth,
Powerful native.
total economic powerhouse.
But that leads to rivalry.
Like with Rome.
They saw Carthage as a threat.
And then boom, clash of civilizations,
A series of wars.
ending with Carthage's destruction.
146 BCE.
What a turn of events.
It reminds us
Of what?
that economic power often brings conflict.
A timeless theme.
It makes you wonder, what if Carthage had survived?
Right. Would they have ruled the Mediterranean?
Fascinating to think about.
Totally. Okay, so we've seen cities battling for resources.
But there's another side,
Like that.
the pursuit of knowledge. And Alexandria is a perfect example.
Founded by Alexander the Great.
More than just a well-planned city,
What else?
a beacon of intellectual and cultural exchange.
Our sources talk about their water supply.
Oh yeah, they use prefabricated clay pipes.
Like ancient plumbing. Ahead of their time.
Not just plumbing, wide streets, a grid system, diverse population.
A true melting pot. And of course,
The Library of Alexandria.
with a massive collection of scrolls. Like the ancient Google.
A catalyst for intellectual innovation.
Scholars from all over.
Debating, translating texts, pushing boundaries.
Unbelievable. One city advancing knowledge.
It's the power of cities to attract talent, drive progress.
And speaking of progress, there's Rome,
The first to reach 1 million people.
showcasing the grandeur and challenges of urban life.
Their infrastructure was remarkable.
The aqueducts, a massive waste disposal site.
Complex urban systems.
But our sources also say,
Even Rome had its problems.
like what?
Housing shortages, social inequality, crime.
It's like these challenges never go away.
One striking detail,
Yeah.
how common tenement housing was.
Even back then.
Seems like affordable housing has always been an issue.
Wow, these parallels are fascinating and a bit unsettling.
It shows we need to learn from the past.
And be mindful of both the potential and the pitfalls of cities.
Absolutely.
We've got a lot more to unpack about these cities.
Definitely.
But let's take a step back for a sec. What's standing out to you so far?
It's fascinating how these ancient cities, so different in time and culture, face challenges that are still relevant today.
You're right. It's like this quest for a thriving urban life is a timeless human story.
It really is. They really set the stage for us, didn't they?
I know, right? It's like they were testing things out,
Different ways to plan cities.
organize people.
And those new technologies.
Some of their solutions were just brilliant.
Like Alexandria's grid system.
Still used today. Talk about good design.
But as we move forward,
Yeah.
cities face new things.
Like what?
Oh, with global trade and all.
Right, right.
Amsterdam in the 17th century, they were a game changer.
Amsterdam.
Yeah, they had this innovative spirit,
Entrepreneurship.
all about free trade.
Embracing new ideas, huh?
Exactly.
Sounds like an early global city.
Oh, absolutely.
Drawing in people and resources.
From everywhere.
What made them so successful?
Well, for one, they were really open.
Open?
Yeah, to different cultures, ways of thinking. They were known for their religious tolerance.
Not so common back then.
No, not at all.
And that helped them.
Oh, yeah, they attracted all this talent.
From all over.
Fueled their growth, you see.
So Amsterdam's rocketed on the world stage.
Right.
But what about everyone else?
Well, London was watching closely.
London.
Yeah, they wanted to be a major player, too.
Ah, so a little rivalry?
I'd say more than a little.
Really?
London was determined they wanted to be the global hub.
Wow.
They started copying Amsterdam's playbook.
What do you mean?
Investing in infrastructure, boosting trade, that entrepreneurial spirit.
Smart move.
But London's path?
It wasn't all smooth sailing, was it?
No, not at all.
What happened?
Well, there was this massive fire in 1666.
Oh, yeah. Great fire.
Devastating, truly.
But it also gave them a chance.
A chance for what?
To rebuild, reimagine the city.
And they did just that.
Wider streets, better sanitation, all about fire safety.
Turning tragedy into progress, you see.
I see that.
They had to rethink their whole approach.
And put people first.
Exactly.
But even with those improvements,
London faced new issues.
This-
Overcrowding, pollution, social unrest.
the downsides of industrialization,
Dickens captured it perfectly.
oh yeah, those social inequalities,
The gap between rich and poor.
a reminder that progress has its costs.
We have to think about everyone,
For sure.
making sure the benefits are shared.
Makes sense.
It's a lesson we still need to learn.
Speaking of learning, our sources point to a new player,
How was that?
New York City. What made them rise to the top?
Well, New York started as New Amsterdam under the Dutch.
Oh, so they had that same drive as Amsterdam?
Yeah, that entrepreneurial spirit,
Ah.
global ambition,
Then when the British took over,
they kept growing.
trade, commerce, all that,
And they embraced innovation.
like in architecture,
Oh, yes, skyscrapers.
the symbol of the modern city.
And they were born in New York.
It's more than just building tall, isn't it?
It's about pushing boundaries, adapting to limited space.
But all that vertical growth,
It created new challenges, right?
I bet. How did they handle all those people?
That's where urban planning became a thing. They had to deal with fire safety, overcrowding,
New problems, new solutions.
thinking strategically about growth,
And don't forget about those new inventions.
elevators, steel frame construction,
Making skyscrapers possible.
but also changing how we think about cities,
It's like innovation drives us to adapt.
in how we plan and govern.
I like that.
But skyscrapers were also symbolic.
Of what?
Progress, economic power, shaping New York's image.
They became an icon.
Absolutely.
So we have these big players all striving for their place.
Amsterdam, London, New York,
Each one unique.
with their own triumphs and struggles.
But they all teach us valuable lessons.
About city life, the quest for progress.
And sustainability.
It's a constant balancing act.
Totally. Cities have shaped our world, no doubt.
But what about the people living in them?
Yeah, how have they been affected?
That's a key question.
Cities bring people together, right?
Oh, yeah, it's like a melting pot.
Cultures, ideas, experiences.
All mixed together.
It's what makes them so vibrant.
But it also creates challenges.
Oh, like what?
Social tensions, inequality, that feeling of being lost in the crowd.
It's a double-edged sword.
But still, people keep coming.
Why is that? What's the draw?
Maybe it's that promise of opportunity,
The chance to connect, to be part of something bigger.
that sense of belonging.
I get that.
But we can't just romanticize city life.
Right. There's the other side, too.
We need to be real about the struggles, the systemic issues.
It brings us back to that need for balance.
Yeah, balance between progress and sustainability.
Individual dreams and the needs of everyone.
Finding that sweet spot where cities can thrive.
Economically, technologically.
But also be fair, livable, and good for the environment.
A tall order.
It is, but there have been attempts throughout history.
Like what?
The Garden City movement in England,
What was I?
combining the best of urban and rural living.
Interesting.
And today, we have smart growth principles.
What are those all about?
Walkable neighborhoods, mixed-use development, public transportation.
Cities are trying new things.
Absolutely.
So we've covered a lot about the impact of cities.
We have.
But as we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
I'm wondering, What is it about cities that shapes history?
That's a tough one.
Yeah,
But one thing's for sure, they've been at the center of it all.
from the beginning.
Rise of agriculture, industrial revolution, the digital age.
Wow.
They're like the crucibles of civilization,
Engines of innovation.
centers of cultural exchange.
Their impact goes way beyond their borders.
Absolutely.
They've shaped our politics, our economies, our art.
Even our identities.
Think about it. Democracy started in those ancient Greek city-states.
And capitalism. Boom. Amsterdam's markets.
The internet.
Uh.
Silicon Valley.
It's all connected.
And as we face 21st century problems,
Climate change, social issues, tech disruptions.
cities are on the front lines.
They are.
So what's standing out to you about the historical significance of cities?
It's pretty amazing, right?
The impact. Yeah, it's huge.
They've been at the heart of so much.
But progress often comes with a price tag, doesn't it?
That's true.
Our sources talk about those challenges.
The ones cities have always faced.
Inequality,
Crime,
environmental,
resource scarcity. It's a lot.
like it's built into city life.
They're constantly changing.
Adapting to new pressures.
And those challenges, they seem to get worse.
As cities grow bigger,
Yeah.
more interconnected.
In the 20th and 21st century,
We saw those megacities emerge.
populations over 10 million.
Huge opportunities.
But huge challenges, too.
Economic growth.
Innovation, cultural exchange,
But then there's the strain on resources.
infrastructure, social services,
It's a lot to balance.
millions of people.
Making sure life is good. And it's not just about size either, right?
No. Cities all over.
Big or small.
They're facing the same things.
Climate change.
Social inequality.
That crazy fast technology
Global challenges.
need global solutions.
And cities are stepping up.
I like that.
They're key players now.
It's almost like
They're like
cities are like little mini worlds,
showing us the world's problems.
but also maybe a peek into the future.
You think so?
Yeah, they're always experimenting,
No ideas.
new tech, new ways of governing,
Living laboratories, right.
always changing, adapting.
How can they learn?
It can impact everyone.
Other cities, policies?
So as we wrap up our deep dive into these cities,
Yeah,
I'm feeling optimistic, but also a little anxious.
I get it.
Cities can be a force for good.
But we have to take care of them.
The choices we make today
They'll have a big impact.
on the future of our cities, our planet.
It's all connected.
It's not just on the experts either, is it?
No, it's on everyone.
We need to be informed, engaged, work together.
To build better cities.
Equitable, sustainable, places where people want to live.
That's the goal, right?
Totally. This deep dive has been eye-opening.
I'm glad.
The challenges, the possibilities of cities, it's amazing.
It's all about sparking that curiosity.
Challenging what we think we know.
Making us think differently about the world.
That's what the deep dive is all about.
Exactly.
So, to our listeners out there, as we finish our journey through the history of cities,
Yeah.
we leave you with this.
What's that?
What will your city's story be? You're part of it.
Your actions shape the future.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.
Until next time.